Fox Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
Beautiful day here in Kansas City. Temperature 72 degrees, going up into the low 80s. Having a great time down on the sideline, as always. It's Pam Oliver.
Well, Sam, Alex Smith is obviously concerned about those alarming sack numbers. He's gone down 19 times, but he is determined to keep his cool. Smith is standing firmly behind his young offensive lineman. He told us what he sees is a bunch of young guys who are working as hard as they can, trying to get better, and they are. Smith said the worst thing you can do coming into a football game is to have the mindset that a sack is the end of the world. Back to you.
Thanks, Pam. Those are big numbers, and Alex Smith takes a lot of hits, took a lot of sacks last season too.
Well, they're going to have to fix that. Alex Smith won't make it through the year if they keep going at that rate, but Jay Cutler, he's got his own issues. He'll have a rookie center taking his first snaps in his NFL career today in Hronis Grasu.
The Chiefs kick it off, and Cairo Santos puts it through the end zone for the touchback. Jay Cutler, who had an outstanding game last week. Boy, he came back in a hurry from a torn hamstring. He missed only one game.
He really did, and I'm not so sure it didn't actually help him. I thought he navigated the pocket incredibly well versus the Oakland Raiders. It kept him going through his progression. He agreed. He said it helped me. Now he's got a deal, Sam. We all know how important the center position is in this league. Last week, they lost their starter, Will Montgomery. Slauson moved over. Today, they go with the rookie, Hronis Grasu. They're excited about him. We'll see if he's ready.
And here go the Bears. Matt Forte gets a couple of yards. He is number 2 in the league in rushing. He is number 1 in yards from scrimmage. For the Bears, they've got all those injuries. But Jay Cutler is confident about his team, and the defense played very well last week. Hurry up offense. 2 tight ends, both to the left side. Zach Miller and Martellus Bennett. Short drop. Cutler for Marquise Wilson. He's their number 1 receiver in the game today.
Well, you look at what they've been through. Before the season even started, their number 7 pick in the draft, Kevin White from West Virginia, he didn't make it. He had surgery. Alshon Jeffrey, he's on the sidelines. And then Eddie Royal, who Jay Cutler has great chemistry with, he gets hurt last week. So they're down to their 4th, 5th, and 6th guys. I think they're going to lean heavily on Martellus Bennett, their tight end, and Matt Forte to try to get something going.
Here's what the Chiefs need here, a stop early. The crowd gets loud. 3rd and 4. Empty backfield. Cutler steps up and completes it to Josh Bellamy for a first down.
And Sam, this is exactly what I'm talking about, the work in the pocket. Watch Jay Cutler staying alive within the pocket, very Drew Brees-like. Ball protected, eyes downfield. He gets to his 3rd receiver in the progression, and they get the big first down.
Adam Gase is the offensive coordinator, and he and Jay Cutler have established a real good rapport and a lot of confidence in each other. Zach Miller lines up the H-back position. Forte fights his way for about 3 yards. Allen Bailey in on the stop for Kansas City. The Chiefs, they've had their own injury issues, and they're trying to fight their way to really solidifying the defense. They've given up a lot of points the last 3 games, as we talked about.
And very un-Chief-like. I mean, only 1 sack in the last 2 weeks for the Kansas City Chiefs. They have to fix that. This defense is predicated on pressuring the quarterback.
Chiefs bring in 3 backs. Jacquizz Rodgers, number 35. Jeremy Langford, the rookie out of Michigan State, is in. Swing it out to Forte, who turns the corner and gets enough for the first down up at the 45-yard line. That's an interesting formation.
Well, really creative by Adam Gase. Your top receivers are out, so what do? You use Matt Forte, your running back, as a wide receiver. Martellus Bennett out there with a beautiful block. Forte so good on the catch and then after the catch. 2nd in the league since 2012 in yards after the catch.
Jacquizz Rodgers stays in at running back. 2 tight ends to the right side. The wide receivers are Wilson and Bellamy. It's Rodgers. And he stopped at the line of scrimmage, maybe got a half a yard. Justin Houston leading the way for the Chiefs. And the Chiefs, as we mentioned, they've got to get a pass rush during the game, and they've got to stop the run.
And to get that pass rush, I always say you have to earn the right to rush the passer. The way you do that, you stop the run. Justin Houston does a great job. They need him to play big. They need Tamba Hali to come alive, as do they for Derek Johnson. Those are three dynamic players. Houston's been the only guy dynamic on that front this year.
Three receivers to the left. Forte in the backfield. Cutler to Forte. Misconnection on that. Forte covered by Ramik Wilson.
But Sam, that's a matchup that Jay Cutler will take all day long. You have Matt Forte, the best receiving back in the league, against a rookie making his first start today. Jay Cutler didn't make the throw he wanted to, but he loves that matchup.
Bears wanted to stay in 3rd and 5 or less. This is 3rd and 9. And the Chiefs moving people up to the line. 5 defensive backs in. There they come. The quick toss to Forte, and he stopped immediately. Excellent play by Tyvon Branch, the safety.
Well, Bob Sutton said, look, if we can't get it with the traditional rush, we're going to bring more than they can handle. And that's exactly what they do. Derek Johnson comes free. Cutler has to get rid of the ball. And Tyvon Branch doing an excellent job of making and securing the tackle on Forte.
Patrick O'Donnell, who missed last week for the Bears, was out with a knee injury, is back. Their #1 punter. Anthony Thomas is deep for the Chiefs. The end-over-end kick. Thomas at the 10. Josh Bellamy missed. And Thomas with a return up close to the 20-yard line. Chiefs get the ball for the first time on offense, led by their star running back, Jamaal Charles.
This game is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide, only with Southwest.
Back in Kansas City, Alex Smith, who put up big numbers, career numbers for him, but couldn't get the ball in the end zone last week.
They kept going backwards once they got in the plus area of the field. They have to fix that.
Here's Jamaal Charles, 4th in the NFL in rushing. He's got 5 yards on the play on first down. Check out the Chiefs' storybook. They've given up the most sacks in the NFL. They've got to protect Alex Smith. The defense has not been getting sacks. Now they played the tough schedule that you talked about, John, and they're hoping to take advantage of maybe teams that are a notch lower.
Well, they played some of the best teams in football, the Denver Broncos, Green Bay Packers, and the Cincinnati Bengals.
How about this formation? 3 tight ends to the right side. Send it outside to Travis Kelce, who gets 4 yards to the 29. Harold Jones-Quartey, the rookie safety, made the stop. The Bears are starting 2 rookie safeties today because of injuries.
Antrell Roll is out. He's been the veteran in that back end of their defense. And the coaches don't love it, but they have no other choice. Adrian Amos is in there as well as Quartey.
Now 3 wide receivers to the left. Jeremy Maclin, Jason Avant, and Chris Conley out to the left. On 3rd and 1. Smith with time. Off the hands of Jamaal Charles. Shea McClellan was covering on the play.
A tremendous job by Shea McClellan, just letting Jamaal Charles feel his presence. Charles, a brave player, but he knew Shea McClellan was right there. It certainly affected him on that play.
So the Chiefs are 3 and out. That time they gave Alex Smith protection. Dustin Colquitt. A long punt. Mark Mariani back to the 17. Has room to return. There's a flag down. And Mariani is ridden down close to the 35-yard line. Jamel Fleming on the tackle, a 54-yard punt. 18-yard return. We'll check out the flag. Our referee today is Tony Corrente. In his 21st season in the NFL, his 18th as a referee. Here's Tony.
During the kick, holding, receiving team number 33. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Jeremy Langford called for the hold. That will set the Bears back, and they'll be on offense for the second time when we come back.
Today's game is sponsored by Bud Light. Make the right call. Drink responsibly.
Downtown Kansas City looks pretty good on a beautiful day. And Arrowhead Stadium looks pretty good as well. Jay Cutler and the Bears start from the 9-yard line. As the fans get revved up. 3 tight ends in for the Bears. Forte on the carry. Slices through with a flag on the play. Got up to the 15-yard line.
There was no play. False start. Offense, number 86. The penalty be assessed half the distance to the goal. Remains first down.
Bears set back inside their 5-yard line because of the penalty. The bruised Bears, we talked about the injuries. A couple of big ones. Will Montgomery, the starting center, is out for the season. Jermon Bushrod, the protector, the left tackle, is out for his second consecutive game, out with a concussion. And there's Antrell Rolle, who's the senior member of the secondary.
Yeah, you just alluded to it. You're not talking about role players. You're talking about veteran players that these guys are counting on. Adam Gase has done a tremendous job of manufacturing offense, making it work without his stud receivers. He's got a rookie center in there. Bob Sutton, the defensive coordinator, going to try to make it as difficult as he can on that center.
Quick outside to Forte, and he is pulled down at about the 7-yard line. Derek Johnson, who can still, as a veteran guy, 11 years in the league, he still goes sideline to sideline as well as anybody.
Yeah, no question about it. And, you know, I think if Bob Sutton, if I'm a defensive coordinator, you got to get this defense back. It's all about the guys up front creating some pressure. But today, I go into this game knowing, look, their 2 best players, the guys they can count on, it's Matt Forte and Martellus Bennett. I'd be giving them plenty of attention.
2nd and 11. And Cutler is down for a safety. And the ball came loose. Did the Chiefs recover? Ramik Wilson recovered. Now the discussion, was he down for a safety or was it a recovery for a touchdown? Jay Howard, the nose tackle, popped it loose.
Well, we talked about that center, Grassu, Dontari Poe. He's been quiet of late. He comes right up the middle. It's Howard. It's Alvin McKinley. Pressure up the gut. They attacked the rookie center. That ball is loose prior to him going down. This may well.
Tony Corrente signaled touchdown.
And I believe it will stand. That ball's out.
Jay Howard and Alan Bailey forced the fumble.
See the pressure right up the middle. Before Cutler goes down, the ball is loose. Ramik Wilson falls on it. Touchdown for the Chiefs defense.
Andy Reid looking on. His defense comes through with a big play. Initially, it looked like Cutler was okay, and then suddenly the protection broke down.
You know, Sam, and I think a brilliant job by Bob Sutton, the defensive coordinator. We talked to him the other day about the possibility facing a rookie center. Do you want to make the move looks around? He said the most important thing is make him block a really good player. We're going to put Poe on him and see what he can do. This time it's Howard and Bailey.
All right, it's confirmed. It is a Chiefs touchdown. Now the extra point for Cairo Santos, who said he would have been happier with 7 extra points last week rather than 7 field goals. So here's his extra point try, his first of this game. And it's through. Kansas City Chiefs get the crowd loud as the defense comes up big. They take Cutler down, he fumbles, and the Chiefs recover for a touchdown.
Today's game is sponsored by Chevrolet. Use hashtag iDrive4 and we'll contribute $5 to fight breast cancer. By Pizza Hut. Bring home the flavor with a Twisted Crust Pizza. And by State Farm. It pays to double check. Talk to your agent today.
Buck O'Neil, the great Negro Leagues baseball star of the Kansas City Monarchs. Wow, that's a beauty. That front for the Chiefs forced the fumble. They just overpowered the offensive line of the Bears.
And we talked about it. That's what this defense has been over the last few years. It's been a pressure-oriented defense. They haven't generated the last couple weeks. They attacked the rookie. 3 guys basically came right up the middle, and Jay Cutler, first read wasn't there, and they get the ball out of Cutler's hands for the touchdown.
Santos kicks it off. Mark Mariani takes it and takes a knee 9 yards deep in the end zone. And the Bears will start from the 20-yard line. The man who recovered the fumble was Ramik Wilson, a rookie out of Georgia. What a feeling for him.
No doubt he's starting for Josh Mauga, who's out with an injury, and making his presence felt.
So now the Bears from the 20-yard line with Marquise Wilson and Josh Bellamy, the wide receivers, 2 tight ends, Martellus Bennett and Zach Miller. Matt Forte, the running back. Forte with a nice little cutback, gets 5 on first down. Let's get an update. Our first of the day, Mike Hill standing by. Mike.
All right, after Cincinnati scored on this opening possession, back comes Seattle. Russell Wilson, given some time, finds a wide open Jermaine Kearse, busted coverage on that defense. We're tied at 7. Sam, John, back to you.
Thanks, Mike. On 2nd and 5, Cutler gets rid of it quickly to Marquise Wilson. A nice tightrope down the sideline, gets a first down up to the 34-yard line. Sean Smith pushed them out of bounds.
With all these receivers out, they're looking for receivers to make plays. Jay Cutler said, give me someone. And Marquise Wilson is a guy that he found last week in that last drive. Went to him a couple times. He's a playmaker. They're starting to get him more involved in the offense, and he's stepping up when the Bears badly need him.
3 tight ends in for the Bears. Miller motions. Cutler throws for Bennett. That was broken up. Well covered on the play by Ron Parker, the strong safety.
That's a great play because you see the size of Martellus Bennett. This is what they want. They want these situations. You see the hard play action, and then Cutler, he'll throw those 50-50 balls in tight coverage to Martellus Bennett, but you see the length of Ron Parker coming in. Hard to do with Martellus Bennett. He's so big. He starts playing basketball and boxing you out, but Parker fights through it.
2nd and 10. Chiefs come with a blitz. Forte goes outside and gets across the 40. Pickup of 7 on the play. Nick Williams and D. Ford in on the stop. D. Ford, the 2nd-round draft pick out of Auburn, a first-rounder, second-year man. There's Forte with his numbers. 2nd to Adrian Peterson in rushing, 1st in overall scrimmage yards.
Sam, and you mentioned it last play, another blitz from Sutton, and they keep attacking right over that center position. They're going to test the young kid out.
3rd and 4. Flag on the play. They stop the play. Looks like a false start on the Bears. So penalties have creeped into the Bears.
Offense, number 72. 5-yard penalty will remain. 3rd down.
That's on Charles Leno Jr., the left tackle.
Well, another young guy, Leno, stepping in for Bushrod, who's injured. They've never been in this type of situation in Arrowhead. It's loud, a lot of pressure on him. He's got a rusher in D Ford who's fast. How do you deal with it right there? They keep backing themselves up. And you mentioned earlier, these are the third downs. Without those receivers, you want to stay out of these.
They've got to get to the 49 for a first down. Rasu calling out protection for his offensive line. Cutler rolls and completes it, but it's short of the first. It is, let's see, he's got enough for the first down. Had to get to the 44, excuse me, and he's got a first down at the 47.
Well, you see more pressure coming right on the inside, so Cutler wisely flushes to his right. Now, you don't want to do too much of this as your Jay Cutler. He said that hamstring still is an issue, but just enough for him to get outside. He makes a nice throw to Wilson.
Jeremy Langford in at running back for Chicago and carries. Gets across midfield. A late flag comes in. Langford got to the Chiefs' 48-yard line. Andy Reid, in his third year as head coach, has met up with John Fox many times.
Offense, number 83, 10-yard penalty, repeat first down.
And again, a penalty hurts the Bears. They had the holding penalty on the punt return that set them back. They had the false start inside their own 10, and now another one here.
Martellus Bennett right there. You see him just get a fistful of jersey, and when you get outside the framework, the back judge, Greg Wilson, sees it and calls it accurately. There's Greg Wilson involved in that controversial call, but I know it from being on the field. This guy's one of the best in the business, and I found it funny that neither head coach knew that rule either. It may tell you something that book, the rule book, is a little too much volume to it.
Langford couldn't get outside. Chiefs did a great job of stuffing that run, stopping it from developing. Alan Bailey leading the way.
Watch Justin Houston here, working against Kyle Long. They talk about setting an edge. He takes two, turns it back to his teammates, and the Chiefs starting to play that swarming defense that we're so accustomed to, that you frankly haven't seen in the last couple of games.
Ball at the 36-yard line. 2nd and 22. Houston not on the pace to hit that 22 that he had last year, but he expects to get going. Mariani had trouble holding on to the ball. Finally did. Gets up to the 40-yard line. Short pickup, 4 on the play, and it'll be 3rd and very long for the Bears.
He throws the quick screen to Cameron Meredith, and Jay Cutler, we asked him for a scatter report on these receivers. He said, John, I'm just learning them myself.
That's right.
He was out grinding in pregame, trying to see what these guys are comfortable with.
He didn't get a whole lot of work with these guys in preseason. Now the tight end Bennett splits far out to the right. Forte in the backfield. Cutler throws the screen to Forte. Couple of blockers. Cross midfield. Slipped one man and gets very close to the first down. He may be half a yard short. Matt Slauson with a big block for him.
Now you see the patience of Matt Forte. Cutler brings in, invites the rush, and then you see the patience, setting up his blocks, slashing across the field. Matt Forte, see the great block by Slauson. Forte really reminds me of Marcus Allen. I played against Marcus Allen. He's a big, tall guy that just sees the field incredibly well. He slashes across it. He runs it well. He catches it well. He does everything well.
And he got enough for the first down at the Chiefs' 42. A big 3rd down conversion. Cutler on first down to Bennett. He holds on and gets inside the 35 to the 34. Chiefs are saying he dropped it, and he did. It hit the ground when he went to the ground. Never completely had possession, and the pass is incomplete.
Martellus Bennett. Cutler hits him on the slant, and that ball never is fully under control. At the end, Eric Berry comes out of the pile with the ball. Nice job calling that incomplete.
Langford, the running back, is split out. Empty backfield on 2nd and 10. The blitz coming. Cutler finds Langford inside the 30. Boy, he's using his backs very well.
Well, Adam Gase talked about Langford as a guy they felt like they could get some explosion. They're going to run the slant on Derek Johnson. They like that matchup. The traffic makes Johnson go around. Langford shows great composure coming up with the catch in the middle of the field. Utilizing the backs very well, as you said, Sam.
First down at the Chiefs' 27. Langford on the delay, bumped into his own man as Leno, the tackle, got pushed back. Langford bumped into him. Good play by Jay Howard, the nose tackle. No gain on the play. They have lost half a yard. Forte comes back in. They're trying to find ways not to wear out Forte.
Well, he's getting up there. I mean, he's in the 8th year in the league. They want to preserve him for this season so he's there at the end and for his career.
Chicago controlling the football. The Chiefs have the lead. Bailey with a tackle on it after a short gain of 2.
Funny, Sam, in talking to Adam Gase and John Fox, they're very cognizant of that. They don't want to wear Matt Forte out, but they said really hard to do because he's so darn good. Gase said, I try to spell him, but I don't want to take the guy off the field. Here we are, 1-3. We need to win games.
Same situation for the Chiefs on the other side with Jamal Charles. Here's another 3rd and long. 3rd and 8. Forte splits out, empty backfield. Blitz coming, quick release is low. Chiefs really got after Cutler on that one.
Well, the Chiefs defensively, they're taking their risk. They're saying, look, your receivers are hurt. Your offensive line is injured, so we're going to come after you. We don't think your receivers can beat us outside. And they're doing a real nice job of getting the ball out of Cutler's hands and making them punt and kick field goals.
Robbie Gould, who kicked the winning field goal with 2 seconds left last week, 9 for 9, will attempt a 44-yarder. Thomas Gafford, who played in Kansas City for 7 years, is the long snapper. O'Donnell the holder, and the kick is right through. The Bears get on the board. The Chiefs have a 7-3 lead. Good drive by the Bears, but it gets stopped. And they settle for a field goal. Robbie Gould needs only one more field goal to become the Bears' all-time leading point scorer.
The self-proclaimed Michael Jordan of the Bears. Martellus Bennett had a great quote. He said he may have to chill on the Michael Jordan references, maybe a little more Steve Kerr references.
He pops one short on the kickoff. And the return by Anthony Sherman, the fullback. And the Chiefs, who've only had the ball once on offense, finally get back on the field, leading 7-3. Blue Fountain, that's for the Kansas City Royals. They're in Houston today for their playoff game, Game 3. That's on MLB. We've got American League Division Series Game 3, Texas and Toronto. And how about the Rangers? They won Games 1 and 2 in Toronto. They could sweep the series tonight on FS1. Coverage begins at 7:30.
Some great fans here in Kansas City. Football, baseball, they love their teams in Kansas City.
Chiefs' second possession of the game starts at the 34. Alex Smith, too high for Chris Conley. Conley, the rookie out of Georgia, caught a couple of passes last week, and they're starting to get him into the offense a little more.
Well, they're looking for someone to emerge opposite of Jeremy Maclin. They know they have a stud in Maclin. Now they need someone else, and Conley is the guy they've identified. At practice the other day was really interesting. Every time the defense was working, Alex Smith one-on-one with Conley, trying to get him up to speed.
3 receivers to the right. DeAnthony Thomas is the 3rd receiver. Smith to Conley. Down at the 40. Time for an update. Kurt Menefee standing by. Kurt, what's happening?
Well, Washington is surprising Atlanta. Kirk Cousins hooking up with Derek Carrier on a 7-yard score. And right now, they're holding the previously unbeaten Falcons in check. 7-0 in the second quarter. Sam, John, and Pam.
Thanks, Kurt. Redskins are doing okay. They're holding their own.
Jay Gruden's doing a nice job keeping them going. But those Atlanta Falcons, 2 fourth-quarter comebacks, they're never out of a game.
First quarter coming to an end here in Kansas City. The Chiefs defense getting 7 points on the board. The Bears have dominated time of possession, but they've scored only 3. End of the first quarter. Jay Cutler's fumble in the end zone, recovered by Ramik Wilson. Gave the Chiefs their 7 points and the lead. Here's Alex Smith on 3rd and 4 as we start the second quarter. Smith with time, and it's dropped by Jeremy Maclin. That was there for the taking, and Maclin didn't hold on. He's had 2 straight 140-yard plus games, and it looked like he was certainly establishing himself as the big threat and the outstanding #1 receiver that we've seen when he was in Philadelphia.
That's not something you're going to see a whole lot. Jeremy Maclin, usually so sure-handed. Alex Smith puts it right on him, and Jeremy Maclin will be the first to tell you that's a ball he has to come down with.
Dustin Colquitt, good high punt. Mariani lets it bounce at the 5. It goes sideways and out of bounds. Chiefs bounce. The hang time was 4.6 seconds and no chance for a return. Here in Kansas City, Sam Rose along with John Lynch, Pam Oliver, Kevin Burkhart's at the baseball desk tonight. So we're here, and so far the Bears have controlled the football, but the Chiefs defense has done a decent job.
Yeah, the Chiefs defense, this is looking like the group we've seen the last couple of years. We saw early this season. You know, Bob Sutton, their defensive coordinator, said something that was interesting. Everyone watched that Sunday night Denver game. They played so great, then lost it late. That affected them. They shouldn't have let it affect them. It affected them. They're feeding off this crowd. They're getting after Jay Cutler.
They've got a chance here. They got Cutler pinned back at the 5-yard line. Forte squeezes through an opening for about 3 yards up to the 8-yard line. Some quick stats of the first quarter. Now you see Kansas City didn't have the ball very much in the game. They've only had 6 offensive plays.
6 plays there, and you got to get some offense going to get in a rhythm. Now part of that is because the Chiefs defense took it away and scored a touchdown on their own.
2 backs, and now they've got the Wildcat formation with Jay Cutler split out to the left. Forte will take the direct snap. Tries to turn the corner and is bumped out of bounds at the 10-yard line. They did that a couple of times last week just to see how Kansas City reacts to it.
It's another opportunity to get the ball in Matt Forte's hands. He's run even the zone read out of it. And even with Mike Martz years ago, he actually threw the ball from the Wildcat. So Matt Forte, very accustomed to taking the center. They love the ball in his hands. Now Forte moves out wide.
Here's 3rd and 4. And the pass low, intended for Josh Bellamy. Right there was Marcus Peters, the rookie cornerback, first-round draft pick. And the Chiefs defense comes through with a good series. And they'll get the ball back probably in good field position.
The Bears deploying themselves in a lot of empty formations. That means no backs in the backfield. Whenever they do it, Bob Sutton saying, okay, you want to do that, we're going to come after you. Get the ball out of your hands. You have to be accurate. That throw was not.
Dangerous return man, DeAnthony Thomas. Standing back inside his own 40. Patrick O'Donnell's kick. Thomas from the 43. Is pulled down at the 46-yard line by the long snapper, Thomas Gafford, the former Kansas City Chief. Well, the Chiefs Defense has done the job against the Bears. Now their offense has to get something going.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by DraftKings. Free 1-week fantasy football at DraftKings.com. By McDonald's, now serving all-day breakfast. And by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
That's a great look at the city of Kansas City on a great day. Glad you're with us. Chiefs on offense for the third time. They have run only 6 plays. They have 3 tight ends in. Alex Smith, nobody open. Now he finds somebody. It's Travis Kelce. First down to the Bears 38-yard line. Mark it at the 39. Harold Jones-Forte made the tackle.
A couple of things I like right there. First of all, the play action. You've been struggling to protect your quarterback. So play action, it slows down the rush. And then Alex Smith, the pocket awareness. Get outside, keep your eyes downfield, and find one of your top targets in Kelce.
Alex Smith had a great game last week, passing for 386 yards. Chiefs moved the ball, just couldn't get it in the end zone, and ultimately cost them the game. Jamal Charles looking for room. There wasn't any there. And he's dropped for no gain on the play. Shea McClellan with the tackle. Shea McClellan, a big story for this revamped Bears defense.
And he's playing a new position, moved to the middle linebacker position. Talking to Vic Fangio, he said yesterday, I think everyone assumed coming in with a new 3-4 that he would be an outside linebacker because of his rush ability. But I saw him as a perfect inside linebacker. You can see he's learning the position. Vic Fangio, long-term, really likes him in that position, running the defense.
Anthony Thomas goes in motion for the right side. Jamal Charles carries inside down to the 36. A gain of 3 on the play. Adrian Amos, the other rookie safety for the Bears, who they really like, a 5th-round draft pick out of Penn State. He's now the guy that's calling the signals for the secondary.
You got 2 rookies back there. Someone's got to do it. And Amos is the guy. There's Vic Fangio, the fine defensive coordinator that was in San Francisco so long. John Fox, a defensive guy, but the opportunity to get Fangio, he got him, and he said, you run your defense. That's exactly what Fangio's doing.
Anthony Sherman, number 42, the fullback, is in the lineup. Jamal Charles in the backfield as well. Smith with time, waiting for someone to come open, and he runs it, and he's got a first down. Good coverage by the Bears, but Smith took it out of bounds. Now we've got Sherrick McManus for Chicago and Jeremy Maclin for the Chiefs going jaw to jaw.
I think they're going to get McManus for either illegal contact or a defensive hold on Maclin. Maclin not happy about it.
Maclin really upset.
Holding defense number 27. This 5-yard penalty will be added to the end of the run and an automatic first down.
You watch McManus in that slot. Tough cover against Jeremy Maclin. He pulls him down, and Alex Smith using that mobility because Maclin was no longer an option. He fakes it to the fullback Sherman and then runs and uses that speed to get the first down.
We talked about the confidence of Jay Cutler with his offensive coordinator, but Alex Smith has got a lot of confidence in Andy Reid, and he and Andy Reid have bonded very well in Reid's time here. Smith throwing short off the hands of Jamal Charles. Charles was wide open. He was the safety valve.
And you can see Sam here. Here's what happens when you've been sacked a lot. It affects a quarterback. Alex Smith had plenty of time, but as you watch him in the pocket, he's unnerved, he's uneasy, and that causes the erratic throw. No pressure around him, but look at him. He wants to get rid of that ball. He had plenty of time, but when you've been sacked 19 times in 4 games, you start to, I'd be nervous too.
Uh-oh, they're coming for me. 2 tight ends in. Demetrius Harris in the game for Kansas City. Charles on the carry. Slicing through inside the 20 to the 19. A gain of 4 for Jamal Charles. And once again, Harold Jones-Forte making the tackle, the safety. Wow. No touchdowns last week for the offense. No touchdowns this week yet for the offense.
You know, I think this is, one criticism of this offense. You got to be a little more aggressive. You look at the Arizona Cardinals. You got to play to win, not play not to lose. You got to go after it, throw the ball downfield.
There's 3rd and 6, 3 wide receivers left. Smith gets rid of it quickly. DeAnthony Thomas, he's got room. He takes it in. Touchdown. He got a block from Jeremy Maclin, and now it's McManus upset with Maclin. But DeAnthony Thomas with a touchdown for Kansas City.
And it was the blocking of Maclin and Conley that freed DeAnthony Thomas. This is a guy, remember, from Oregon. You get him in space. Watch Maclin, Conley as they throw the bubble to DeAnthony Thomas. Both the receivers at least get in the way. Terry Porter takes the inside route, and DeAnthony Thomas has too much speed. If he gets that corner, watch out.
So that ends that drought for the offense for the Chiefs, as their offense started in good field position at their own 46, and they drove it home. Cairo Santos for the extra point. And it's through. The Chiefs with a 14-3 lead. They haven't had the ball much, but they've taken advantage of it. And here, DeAnthony Thomas takes it in.
I want you to watch Tracy Porter here. Fundamental football, you got to play to your help. All his help is inside. He chooses to go inside. He doesn't use his help anymore. DeAnthony Thomas says, thank you very much. He give him the edge. It's one of the fundamental rules in football. You got to have someone on contain. Porter chooses to go inside. You better make the play. He doesn't. The result's a touchdown.
Cairo Santos kickoff through the end zone for a touchback. DeAnthony Thomas's first receiving touchdown in the NFL. Chiefs defense coming into this game, the last 3 games, all losses. Look at the points given up.
Too many big plays, Sam. This is a defense, and again, it all starts with the pressure. You see all those pass yards, the 20-plus completions. Last year, very good. This year, near the bottom of the league. Everything is predicated on pressure. When you get the pressure, the takeaways come. When you don't, you're not going to get takeaways. You're going to give up big plays. We've seen the pressure come alive today, and here they are up 14-3.
Bears start from the 20-yard line. Matt Forte, the running back, looking for some room, and gets 5, a hard-earned 5. Dontari Poe, the 4th-year man out of Memphis, with a stop.
Talking to Adam Gase, he didn't want to open this up into a 3-receiver game because that's when Bob Sutton brings his pressure. He said, you're going to see some old-school Chicago football. We're going to attack them in between the numbers, try to keep this game in the middle of the numbers, make it physical.
2 tight ends left, 2 wide receivers right. Forte carries in the middle. Gets about 3 on the play. Game break time. Mike Hill in L.A.
Hey, guys, it's been about 3 years since you've last seen this. Aaron Rodgers at home doing something he rarely does. Throw an interception. December 2nd, 2012, the last time he did it. James Laurinaitis got him there, but he has his 12th touchdown of the season. It's all Packers 14-0 in the second.
See, even when he throws an interception, it works out fine.
He's human. I didn't think he was. I was
Fans
starting
in
to believe he
Lambeau are
wasn't.
shaking. They don't know what to do. Forte stuffed for a loss. Chiefs defense comes through. Jay Howard, the nose tackle, with a stop.
Andy Reid, one of the things he talked about to get back to who they are. You see Jay Howard right here. We got to get off the ball. Jay Howard does exactly that. He's been telling his D linemen, get off the football, stop catching, start getting upfield. Jay Howard did it right there.
He's had a good game.
He's had a good year.
Really been working against the rookie Grisou, and he's done a good job. Patrick O'Donnell for the punt. Anthony Thomas back at his own 20. Thomas with a return. Flag on the play. Thomas is shoved out of bounds at around the 36-yard line. We'll check out the flag.
You're going to get Hussein Abdullah with the block in the back, and it was clear. It was an easy one, and Hussein Abdullah, a smart player, did not make a smart play.
During the return of the kick, illegal block in the back. Receiving team number 39. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Alex Smith leading the offense, which put 7 on the board last time they had the ball.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by FanDuel, the leader in one-week fantasy football.
Jeez. That's only the second touchdown by receiver in the last 2 seasons. They had none last season. Macklin and now Thomas this season. Quick pass, complete to Macklin, and spun out of the hole, but they're going to give him forward progress up to the 27. They'll move it back, so he gets 9 on the play.
I like the patience by Alex Smith. You see he wanted it right away. That was taken away, so he waits for Macklin to clear into that second window behind McManus. Waits. Sometimes patient allows the play to develop. And Jeremy Macklin, you don't want to be running into those defensive linemen.
Alex Smith 5 for 9, 53 yards. And let's see. The officials getting together here.
It is second down, half a yard to go.
The guys ran in from the sideline with water bottles like there was a timeout.
It's hot out here.
They got to get the guys back off the field. Trainer's doing a good job. I'm getting a sense that the Chiefs offense is starting to get into a rhythm, John.
They're starting to find it. They really are. They're protecting Alex Smith better, which is helping.
The fake, quick out to DeAnthony Thomas, cuts it back, hit hard as he got across the 30. He's got a first down. Adrian Amos with the hit and the tackle, gain of 5. With a first down for the Chiefs.
But Sam, we talk about protecting Alex Smith better. Andy Reid's doing a lot of that by his play calls. We're seeing short, quick throws, balls behind the line of scrimmage, play action when they pass it. Not much drop back passing because his line hasn't been able to protect Alex Smith. So Andy Reid's handling it by the play calls. You see all these negative plays that have been plaguing none today. Improvement for the Kansas City Chiefs offense.
Off the play fake, Smith with time, puts it up, too high for Jeremy Macklin. Covered by Tracy Porter. That's a matchup that the Bears wanted, the veteran Tracy Porter on Macklin. Tracy Porter missed a lot of time in preseason with injuries, but once he got healthy, John Fox and Vic Fangio know him very well, especially John Fox, who had him in Denver, and they put a lot of responsibility on him.
Well, last week he blanketed Amari Cooper. They targeted him 8 times, did Derek Carr, and the Raiders only had 3 receptions for 23 yards.
Frankie Hammond Jr., number 85, in at wide receiver. Smith releases Jamal Charles. Nice move. First down and more. Charles pulled down at the Bears' 44-yard line. Now you see what Jamal Charles can do when he gets his hands on the ball.
And this is something Vic Fangio was nervous about. This is a tough cover for any linebacker. Shea McClellan, he's responsible for Jamal Charles, and that's just a tough cover, especially for a linebacker who used to be a pass rusher. Tough to guard that guy in space. And there, Shea McClellan, Jamal Charles can make you put on the brakes and fly right by him.
You can reverse your field like that, right? There's the play fake. Smith wants to put it up. Nobody open. Now he throws it away. Jamal Charles was the nearest to that football, but that was a throwaway for Alex Smith.
And again, just virtually every play that Andy Reid is calling, play action, quick throws. There, they move the launch point. They roll them out a little bit. Alex Smith doesn't see anything, throws it out of bounds. Good coverage by the Bears. But Andy Reid intent on protecting Alex Smith.
You've protected him thus far pretty well. Charkandrick West, number 35. Now the running back splits out to the right side. fake the end around and go this way to DeAnthony Thomas. And he picks up a couple down to the 38-yard line. Lamar Houston in on the stop for the Bears. So now the Chiefs, who did this last week, good ball possession, good ball control. They've gotten their offense going, and this has been a good drive for them.
If I'm the Bears defense, I'm going to make them throw the ball downfield, press these receivers, stop those wide receiver screens and say, all right, you can do that. We're going to shore that up, but can you push the ball downfield effectively?
They split the running back out, and they bring DeAnthony Thomas to the backfield. Pressure. And Pernell McPhee's got him for the sack. McPhee, who is taking on the leadership role for the Bears, comes up with a big play.
Well, now you're forced in third down to get in one of those drop back pass. Pernell McPhee, this guy has played some outstanding football for the Chicago Bears, and this is it, the motor. He beats him outside, but then keeps on rushing and comes and delivers. Pernell McPhee, they paid him a lot of money, but let me tell you, they got a steal because this guy is playing some serious football for the Chicago Bears.
And he took the Chiefs out of field goal territory. And they're forced to punt. Colquitt puts it up high. Mariani lets it drop, and it goes into the end zone for the touchback. The Bears still looking to get their offense on track. They've only put 3 on the board. Second home game of the season for the Chiefs, but their first on Sunday afternoon. The fans are loving it. Such a great scene out here with the tailgating and the barbecue. It's great.
Tremendous environment. One of the loudest stadiums in football. These Chief fans love their football.
Bears, empty backfield, start from the 20-yard line. Cutler gets rid of it, incomplete. Try to go to his tight end, Martellus Bennett. Chiefs have done a good job covering Bennett in this game.
0 catches for Martellus Bennett, and he's a guy that they knew coming into this game with all the receivers hurt, they had to lean on him. The Chiefs are doing a fabulous job changing up the people defending Martellus Bennett, but really playing tight coverage on him.
Cutler only 1 completion in his last 5 passes. 2nd and 10. Forte in the backfield. Cameron Meredith in wide receiver for the Bears. Forte gets about 4 on the play. Up to the 24-yard line. Will bring up a 3rd and 6. Derek Johnson in on the stop with Dontari Poe for Kansas City. They've got the good personnel. That's why I was surprised the last 3 games that they've given up so many points.
Well, Dontari Poe, he's coming off back surgery. They say he's just now starting to get his legs back underneath him. Tamba Hali's been quiet of late. Justin Houston, he gets so much attention. They send 2 at him, 3 at him.
Here's 3rd and 6. Cutler steps up, and it's incomplete. Try to get it to Mark Mariani. Just a little too far for him.
I tell you what, I'm talking about how much attention that Justin Houston draws. Kyle Long, fabulous job. One-on-one, that's a tough protection for Kyle Long, but he does a tremendous job. Just a poor throw. Remember, Jay Cutler getting used to these receivers. He hasn't thrown to Mariani. Mariani's been a returner for the most part. Now thrust into action, and that timing looks as if it's off.
3 straight 3 and out for the Bears. Aiming for the sideline. DeAnthony Thomas lets it bounce. Takes a Bears bounce out of bounds at around the 26-yard line. Saturday is college football day. All across the Fox networks, we've got West Virginia trying to contain the high-octane offense of number 3 Baylor. Baylor scored 66 points yesterday in their win. Plus, a Pac-12 clash, Arizona and Colorado on FS1. It's all Saturday on Fox, FS1, the Big Ten Network, and streaming live on Fox Sports Go.
66 for Baylor? That's a quiet day.
It called off the Dogs.
Called off the Dogs.
In the 4th quarter. From the 27, Jamal Charles, led by Anthony Sherman. Gets to the 32. We go to Mike Hill for an update. Mike.
Guys, Packers, Rams, and Tavon Austin can do it all. He's the ultimate weapon. Gets the little pitch from Nick Foles, finds the end zone, 5-yard score. He's got touchdowns, 3 catching, 1 rushing, 1 punt return, 14-7 Packers in the second.
Thanks, Mike. Back here, Bears have a player down. Eddie Goldman, the rookie nose tackle, second-round draft pick out of Florida State.
He's a guy that Vic Fangio said is coming on. He played his best game last week versus the Raiders. Fangio's so great. He doesn't use the word great lightly. You asked him, he's impactful, right? He said impactful is a strong word, but he's getting better. You see him get cut, just kind of rolls that right angle.
Heads off limping.
The Bears, the injuries. John Fox, I mean, he just can't believe it. He's trying to change a culture. They're a little short on talent to start with, and then half your roster was on the injury report on Friday.
3 tight ends in. Quick outside to Macklin, and he stopped. That's a great tackle. What a play by Sam Acho, the outside linebacker. Fought off the block and made the tackle.
And that's what you have to do. You have to eliminate these screens and make Alex Smith and the Chiefs throw the ball downfield. If they can do this, your pass rush never has a chance to get there. Now you force them into a situation where Alex Smith may have to hold on to the football. Got to eliminate that as a defense and make them do something they don't want to do, throw the ball downfield.
Here's 3rd and 5 for the Chiefs. And we have come to the 2-minute warning here in Kansas City. The Chiefs 7 points by their defense, 7 points by their offense, and a 14-3 lead on the Bears. Get apps, videos, and more at iTunes.com/NFL. 3rd and 5 for the Chiefs at their 32. Jamal Charles shifts back into the backfield. Smith under pressure. Completes to Macklin. A first down up at the 44-yard line. What a throw by Alex Smith.
That's absolutely right. That's the fastball by Alex Smith. I mean, he put some juice on this ball, and Jeremy Macklin, that's why you go out and spend the big bucks for a receiver like Macklin. 3rd down when you need him, he's going to come through. We saw him drop one earlier. That won't happen much. Smith delivers a beautiful pass. Macklin delivers.
Macklin's 3rd catch, 21 yards. Everybody out. Smith throws to Macklin again. Gets about 9.5. Looks like he might be a little short. Let's see. Very close to the first down marker. Back here in Kansas City, the Chiefs, as we said, the last 2-3 times they've had the ball, they've gotten their offense going.
Well, they have, and right now we're seeing the connection between Alex Smith and Jeremy Macklin. I think Jeremy Macklin, a wise free agent. You know they needed a receiver, but go get one that Andy Reid was very familiar with. He played for Andy Reid for years in Philadelphia. He knows the system. Andy Reid's very comfortable with him, and it's starting to pay dividends. They're protecting Alex Smith much better today.
And defensively for the Bears, they need somebody to come up with a play and a takeaway.
Yeah, we saw Pernell McPhee earlier with the pass rush. They need to generate a little more and get to Alex Smith.
It's a first down for the Chiefs at the Bears' 46-yard line. Smith with time, and the ball is dropped. Good coverage by Sam Acho on Chris Conley.
And that's impressive. Sam Acho, linebacker, used to rushing the passer. They drop him in coverage, as they will in this system. To be out there covering a receiver and finish like that, very nice play by Acho.
Acho, another good acquisition for the Bears. Coming up, stick with us for the Visa halftime report. Kurt, Terry, Howie, Michael, and Jimmy, all the scores and highlights. I'll update everything for you. Check out some interesting stories as well on the Visa halftime report. Jamal Charles. Oh, he almost broke that last tackle, but Acho held on and took him down across the 40-yard line.
Now we have two beautiful runners. I don't use that word much when you talk about a runner, but look at the feet. He's just waiting for that hole to develop. He gets it, and then boom, the Jets come on. Jamaal Charles, the vision, the burst. Just a big-time football player they have here in Jamaal Charles.
6 carries, 24 yards. 3rd and 3 for the Chiefs. Smith with time, going short. Travis Kelce, first down. He drags the defender, Shea McClellan, with him across the 25. And a timeout called by the Chiefs, who are in scoring territory now.
Now, lost in that, Sam, there was no urgency to get up to the ball. They let precious seconds go. Now they get the first down, but it's almost as if the Chiefs are playing for a field goal.
Yeah.
You would think they had enough of that last week. Look, they're executing great. They're playing great. I just think this team needs to get a little more of that killer instinct play to put someone away when you have them on the
earlier.
Yeah.
More aggressive, right?
Yeah. And it's something that, you know, I think everything you do should be to play to win. Yes, you have to be smart. We don't want to kick 7 field goals again. We want to score touchdowns.
Ball at the Bears' 23-yard line. Chiefs with 1 timeout remaining. And you see the temperatures that were around the 80-degree mark. This is a tough one. Alex Smith being rushed, and they got him. Willie Young comes bursting through for the 2nd sack of the game. That's a man who's been looking for a role on this Bears defense. Another timeout used by the Chiefs.
Willie Young's going to start up top. McPhee drops out. Willie Young beats Stevenson, and Grubb splits him and gets all over Alex Smith, who never had a chance.
The ball back to the 31-yard line. Now let's see what the Chiefs do with 21 seconds left.
And now here's where you'd like to have those 15, 20 seconds that you let go kind of casually going up to the line. You go backwards, and now all of a sudden getting to the end zone becomes a tougher, as does the field goal.
2nd and 18, 21 seconds remaining. Chiefs are out of timeouts. They're in field goal range for Cairo Santos. Macklin goes in motion. Alex Smith, or Macklin steps out of bounds at the 23-yard line. 17 seconds remaining.
That's a really good throw. And, you know, you talk to Alex Smith, he said, look, there's no substitute for game reps. We can work all offseason, as he and Macklin did tirelessly, to try to get that chemistry. But there's nothing like game reps, and now you're starting to see those game reps. The production of Macklin came into today, the last 2 games, 19 catches for 289 yards, just on fire.
All right, it's 3rd and 9. Take a shot in the end zone here.
Why not? You know, be careful doing it, but again, play to win.
And now the Bears use a timeout with 17 seconds. What's coming up? Kurt Menefee in Los Angeles.
Coming up on the Visa halftime, Aaron Rodgers and the high-powered Pack host the Rams. Joe Flacco uses his legs against the Browns, and Jameis Winston takes on the Jags in a Florida feud. Those highlights and much more coming up at the half.
Thanks, Kurt. We'll look forward to that. Packers have a 14-7 lead on the Rams late in the first half. Here, it's the Chiefs with a 14-3 lead. We talked about the fine running backs. How about these quarterbacks? Jay Cutler, 10 for 17, 81 yards. Alex Smith, 12 for 19, 131 and 1 touchdown.
Yeah, I think Cutler's been under more duress. You know, the story coming in was Alex Smith taking all the heat. It's been Cutler who's been under duress and consequently has thrown some inaccurate footballs.
So now with 17 seconds remaining and no timeouts, it's 3rd and 9 for the Chiefs. Smith goes outside. And stepping out of bounds is Macklin, short of the first down. Steps out just short of the 16-yard line, and the field goal kicking unit. It looks like you were right, John. That's what they're playing for.
You talk about protecting the end zone. That's called the old picket fence right there. My goodness, they weren't going to give up that touchdown. Alex Smith gets the chunk of yards, but again, you're going to get a field goal out of this. Hopefully, I like being a little more aggressive and going for the end zone. I think that's how you beat the big boys that they just lost to.
The man from Brazil, he is helping make American football, the NFL, popular in Brazil. Cairo Santos, a 35-yard try, went 7 for 7 last week. That one's right through. Chiefs add 3 to the lead. It's 17-3.
You look at the touchdowns today. We talked about the Chiefs defense needing the pressure. They brought it early. Bob Sutton challenged the rookie center right up the middle. DeAnthony Thomas, a rarity, a touchdown by a Chiefs receiver, and Alex Smith rejoicing in Kansas City.
The Chiefs defense really came up big after early on. The first quarter, the Bears were moving the football okay. Last 3 times, Bears have got nothing. Chiefs defense has done a good job.
Looking a little more reminiscent of the Chiefs defense we've come to know the last couple of years. And again, I go back to Bob Sutton said that you look at our first 8 quarters of football this year, we're really good. The last 2 minutes of that Denver game, they lost and improbably lost that game, and it got them out of whack. It took them some games to recover, and they were playing the likes of Green Bay and Cincinnati, not teams to be struggling against.
Chiefs to kick off. They won the coin toss at the start of the game, elected to defer. Chiefs will get the kickoff to start the 3rd quarter. So things in good shape right now for the Kansas City Chiefs. Mark Mariani awaiting the kickoff from Cairo Santos. And the long kick is through the end zone again. So the Bears have 9 seconds remaining. Chiefs offense talking things over. They came alive in the second quarter. Chiefs have put 164 yards on the board. And 10 points for the offense, 7 points for the defense. The Bears will kneel down and head to the locker room to try and figure things out for the second half. The Chiefs in control. The defense got it going, and the offense followed. The Visa halftime report is coming up with Kurt, Terry, Howie, Michael, and Jimmy. They've got scores, highlights, fantasy numbers, feature stories. It's all coming up on the Visa halftime report. At halftime, the Kansas City Chiefs lead the Chicago Bears 17-3. We will send you to LA and the Visa halftime report with Kurt Menefee right now. Today's excitement is brought to you by Nissan. And that was today's excitement, brought to you by Nissan. First half, statistically, the Chiefs started slowly, but then they got it together. And you see the passing yardage, first downs, and points off turnovers, the sack in the end zone leading to the fumble by Jay Cutler.
And I think for the 2 teams, if you're the Chiefs, you got a big lead, keep your foot on the gas. Both offensively, defensively, push the ball on defense, continue to be aggressive. If you're the Bears, certainly not where you wanted to be, behind without any of your top receivers. You got to find a way to get Martellus Bennett in this game, and defensively, you got to make a play.
Robbie Gould's kickoff through the end zone. We go to the sideline. Pam Oliver standing by. Pam.
Hey, Sam, I had a couple of questions for John Fox. Key among those was what's at the top of your list in terms of things you have to do better? It was a short list. He said that we have just got to play harder. And as far as the offense, he said we started out okay, but then we had some execution problems. Andy Reid, meantime, he was very complimentary of the way the offense is playing, the way they're running the ball, the short pass game. He also said defensively, though, we are playing much more aggressive, and we have to keep that going. Back to you.
Thanks, Pam. Good stuff. Jamal Charles squeezes through, gets about 6. Shea McClellan on the stop. Jamal Charles with 8 touches in the game, 7 runs, 1 reception.
Such a talented player. I mean, we really have 2 of the see Shea McClellan down for the Bears as we watch that. But Sam, you know, coming in, it's an exciting game because of the backs in this game. Both Forte and Jamal Charles, as good as it gets in terms of all-around backs in this league.
Shea McClellan, an important part of this defense.
There's McClellan. Takes on, we'll see if that right shoulder looks to be ailing.
We'll step out for a moment as the training staff and medical staff takes a look at Shea McClellan.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide, only with Southwest. By Burger King, kick off fall with a new Oreo Pumpkin Sprite Shake. By Corona, who invites you to find your beach. And by the Lincoln Motor Company and the entirely new Lincoln MKX.
Shea McClellan walked off under his own power.
And we thought it was the shoulder initially, but watch that left leg of McClellan. His own teammate, Jarvis Jenkins, is going to call, and he hyperextends that knee. Ouch.
Number 52, Leroy Reynolds replaces McClellan. This is Jamal Charles. Stopped short of the 30-yard line. Bring up 3rd and half a yard. Christian Jones in on the tackle. This is per carry. He has got the best record of all time in the NFL. Look at those numbers. The people. Jim Brown, Mercury Morris, Gale Sayers, Barry Sanders. And Jamal Charles is better than all of them.
Being on that page right there, that's yeoman's work by Jamal Charles, and that's what he does each and every week. We talked about how versatile he is, but a tough runner as well.
Here's Charles for a first down. And an extra lineman in their jumbo package. Adrian Amos on the tackle. Wanted to mention that number 90, Jeremiah Ratliff for the Bears, is back in the lineup after serving a 3-game suspension and missing a game with a bad ankle that he injured in the 3rd preseason game. But he's an important part of this defense. I'm not sure how much he can play in this game, but he's an important part of the Bears defense.
He is. When you talk to the Bears, when you watch the Bears, they'll call him their best all-around defensive lineman. Jarvis Jenkins been playing well, but it's nice to have Ratliff back.
With 3 tight ends in, Charles breaks it outside, and he's brought down. Tracy Porter got a piece of him, finished off.
And just watch the beautiful running. We've seen him the last 3 plays inside running, but here's what Jamal Charles can do. He starts inside. You see the 2 pullers patiently setting up the blocks. Looks like not much there, but then the speed, the vision to burst outside. He is such a good running back in terms of his versatility. He can get the tough yards inside, but then has that breakaway home run type speed. It's a tough combination to defend.
Gain of 16. Now he's averaging over 5 yards per carry. On the delay, it's Charles again. Excuse me, that's Charkandrick West who replaces Charles. And the talk about why Charkandrick West for Charles. They're similar type runners.
Yeah, you know, there's been a lot of talk about why Niall Davis got benched, and Andy Reid said he hasn't got benched. It's just that Charkandrick West is much more similar to Jamal Charles. So those type of plays, they fit with the offense. Now, Niall Davis, if Charles were ever to go down, then Niall Davis would become the starter, and you change your offense. Different type of backs.
2nd and 1. It's West cutting it back. First down inside the 40, down to the Bears 38. Ego Ferguson made the stop, number 95. But the Chiefs, the last 4 possessions, they have really moved the football well on offense.
Well, Alex Smith enjoying this run game. But watch him at the end of the play. He goes down and having some fun watching the run game, but he finds himself on his back. Even when he's not getting hit, he's on his back.
Jamaal Charles back in, 3 receivers to the right side. It's Alex Smith taking it on the keeper. How about that? Little zone read action.
Well, Alex Smith provides this. He's got this kind of mobility. It's a read right there on 99. If he goes down, Alex Smith says, okay, I'll keep this and I'll take the edge. Lamar Houston kind of in the middle. Alex Smith keeps it and gets big yards for the Chiefs.
Gain of 6 on first down. Out of bounds just short of the 32. As the Chiefs continue to move the ball well. It's Jamaal Charles. And he creates some running room with his maneuverability, the way he moves his body.
You got to give some credit. This offensive line has been much maligned this entire year, getting more press floor, not protecting Alex Smith. But right now, Ben Grubbs and company doing a tremendous job controlling the line of scrimmage. They've got a great runner behind them, but right now you got to give some credit to these guys really standing up. They're starting to play better.
First down at the 26-yard line. That's a bad sign. Shea McClellan on the cart, about to be taken to the Bears locker room. Off the play fake. Smith throws, completes to Macklin at the 10 and fights his way down the 9-yard line.
Now, when you run the ball effectively, when you control the line of scrimmage, this is how you counteract it as an offense. Andy Reid, watch those linebackers. They're going to take the cheese. They're going to take the bait. They get pulled up, and then the lanes open up right behind them. Great execution by Alex Smith, by Andy Reid, Doug Peterson, everybody. The offensive coordinator, Doug Peterson, just a flawless drive thus far.
Gain of 16 on that last play. 2 tight ends in. Here's Jamaal Charles. No opening that time as the Bears shut him down for no gain. Last week, the concern of Andy Reid was negative plays when they got into across midfield. Now, Jamaal Charles, holding his right leg. Oh boy. Medical staff out to take a look at their star running back.
Sam, you look at this, you just look at this right leg of Jamaal Charles, and right when he makes the cut, right there at the end, it just looks like it buckles on him. Now, you don't want to speculate. You see him getting pulled off the field. Typically, when there's a non-contact, it is not a good thing. The good news, we did a game in Arizona earlier this year. Same thing happened with Andre Ellington. He's back playing football right now. You just hope, because he's such a gifted player.
And you could see both teams were out on the field. Eddie Goldman, the nose tackle for the Bears, who was hurt in the first half, was back in the game and got shaken up on the same play. Here's second and goal. Charcandrick West, number 35, the second-year man out of Abilene Christian, replaces Jamaal Charles. Smith to the end zone for Kelsey. And he turned a little bit late with Kyle Fuller covering him.
You know what, though? I like that call, because we talk about all these screens behind the line of scrimmage. To score touchdowns, you have to attack the end zone. And this is a guy that I think you should be throwing to more on these type of throws. Kelsey, so gifted, such a tough cover. They try the back shoulder throw. He never picks up the ball, but I like the aggressiveness going for the touchdown, keeping the foot on the pedal.
Third and goal for the Chiefs. Two tight ends in. Everybody out. Smith in trouble. Got rid of it too quickly. Kind of slung it at Charcandrick West, and he missed him.
He
Good
got some
pressure
heat
from Willie Young.
Yeah, Willie Young, Pernell McPhee. They said, let's meet at the quarterback. You see him coming from both ends. It causes Alex Smith to step up, throw the ball a little quicker than he would have wished. Nice job by the Bears defense, buckling down in the red zone.
Now, that was a big stop, holding the Chiefs to a field goal attempt here. 27-yard try. The holder is Dustin Colquitt. The long snapper is James Winchester. And Cairo Santos is blocked. Sherman recovers it. Pernell McPhee with the block. And the Bears special teams come up big.
This is what they needed. They needed a play from their defense, from their special teams. Pernell McPhee's been the guy giving that all year. What a great effort by McPhee.
Today's game is sponsored by Verizon. Watch live local games with NFL Mobile only on Verizon.
Back in Kansas City, the Bears take over at their 15-yard line after the field goal tried, blocked by Pernell McPhee. Quick outside of Josh Bellamy. Makes a couple of moves, gets to the 18.
Well, you just watch Pernell McPhee. Right here, Donald Stevenson's going to fall to the ground. McPhee finds himself in that gap, gets his hands up. This guy, the more you watch him, what a great acquisition by the Bears. He shows up on defense, now on special teams, making plays when his team needs it most. That's a huge play.
He wants to be the team leader, and he's certainly showing it on the field. Cutler resetting. Forte in the backfield. Blitz coming. The toss to Forte. And a first down. We got an update. Let's go to L.A. and Mike Hill.
Hey guys, Seattle trying to get Cincinnati its first loss of the season. I think that Seattle defense officially back. Michael Bennett blows up the reverse, forces the fumble. Bobby Wagner goes 23 yards on the scoop and score 24-7 in the third.
Thanks, Mike. We'll be in Seattle next week against Carolina.
That's impressive. Cincinnati's playing as well as anyone in the league. To go on the road and do that.
Forte got 10 yards on the last play. Gets about 1 on that one. This season, stream live local Sunday afternoon games right on your smartphone with NFL Mobile.
Such a critical drive for the Bears. McPhee makes that big play. Now you got to cash in. Tough sledding for Cutler without his top receivers. Find a way. Get 83 involved. Get Martellus Bennett involved.
3 wide receivers in. Bennett splits out. Forte splits. Cutler. Nobody open. They're chasing him. And he got rid of it to Bellamy, who stays in bounds, dives for the first down marker. Good effort by Josh Bellamy.
Well, Jay Cutler, I can't tell you how impressed he's been. He had a torn hamstring 3 weeks ago. Everything covered to where Cutler was looking to the left. He extends the play, and you see Bellamy find open space. Cutler's moving around, find the open space. Really nice job by Bellamy, but the toughness by Cutler, guy who 3 weeks ago had torn his hamstring, to come back, it's unheard of.
Now he uses a machine that's called an ARP machine that has intense stimulation around the injury. It really helped heal
He
the
talks
injury.
about the ARP machine, but I'll tell you one thing. Jay Cutler takes a lot of criticism. I played with the guy for 2 years in Denver. One of the toughest, mentally toughest, physically toughest players I've ever been around. So you can give him heat for a lot, but never question his toughness.
No, that looks like it is 1 chain link short. Good effort by Bellamy. Tony Correnti. That's it.
That's the definition of 1 chain link.
It'll be 3rd. And what play does he have that's marked chain link?
Chain link play. 3rd and chain link. I like the sneak. You know?
Jacquizz Rodgers is in at running back. Two tight ends, Bennett and Miller for the Bears. Rodgers, and he's got the first down at the 40-yard line. Tamba Hali with the tackle. Brought it up That Jacquizz Rodgers, not a big guy, but he is so compact and low to the ground, tough to bring down.
I got to be honest, though. I love Adam Gase. I think he's a future head coach in this league in a hurry. But third in the chain link, I'm not in the shotgun. I'm under center, and I'm going forward. I think a risky call there. They happen to convert.
Forte back in at running back. Off the play fake. Cutler throwing long. And gets caught. Flag on the play. And Marquise Wilson with a good comeback on the catch against Sean Smith of Kansas City. Let's check out the flag.
Looks like it's going to be PI on Sean Smith. And you want to talk about arm strength. That ball was just slung by Jay Cutler.
Defense number 21. This penalty is declined. The result of the play is a first down.
Credit Charles Leno, the left tackle, for running Tamba Hali by him. Cutler steps up and watch him put some force and torque into that throw. I mean, that is a big-time throw by Jay Cutler. Sizzled down the field. Marquise Wilson for 33 yards. Big-time play by Cutler and Wilson.
First down at the 27. Forte. There's a good hole, and he carries 3 defenders with him down to the 17. Ramik Wilson, Sean Smith in on the tackle. Part of that gang that Forte carried with him.
Sam, I think you got to give John Fox's unit. This is an undermanned team. They aren't the most talented team in football to start with. They've got so many injuries. Pernell McPhee, I think, a leader of this team, emerging as one. What do leaders do? They make big plays when their team needs it. And now the offense responding. A very impressive drive.
A real good drive. First down for the Bears. Forte, 14 carries, 58 yards. The fake, Cutler waits, throws for the end zone for Miller, batted away. Outstanding play by Ron Parker, covering Zach Miller.
Well, they tried to use Martellus Bennett as a decoy. They faked the bubble screen to him, thinking they might sneak one behind him, but beautiful coverage. Martellus Bennett right there. They're going to fake that bubble screen. Parker staying on his key, staying on his man, and making a nice finish.
2nd and 10 for the Bears. Cutler outside to Bellamy. And Bellamy is taken down. Well, Bellamy wants to stay in bounds. He turns around. He's not a big guy, but he's looking for that extra yard. Marcus Peters stayed with him and made the tackle. Gain of 5, 3rd and 5 for the Bears.
One of the things that the Bears, Adam Gase, talked about, Bellamy, a speed guy, doesn't trust his hands the most, sometimes slows him down after the catch. We saw it right there.
3 wide receivers left. Cutler sends everyone out, looks, flag on the play, throws for the end zone, incomplete. Too high for Marquise Wilson, but there's a flag, and it could be a hold on the Bears.
Illegal use of the hands, hands to the face, offense, number 72. This penalty is declined. 4th down.
That's the left tackle, Charles Leno. And the Bears will send out the field goal kicking unit, Robbie Gould. Looking for the all-time record for points scored for the Chicago Bears. This will be a 30-yard field goal try. He has been perfect this season. Patrick O'Donnell, the holder. Thomas Gafford, the long snapper. And the kick is right through. Robbie Gould is the all-time leader in points scored for the Chicago Bears. It's 17-6. Chiefs, let him have that football.
Give it to him. The guy's not going to give it to him.
Right at the top of the list now is Robbie Gould. Passing Kevin Butler, the late Walter Payton.
Well, perhaps he wasn't off with those Michael Jordan comparisons. Michael Jordan, the all-time leading scorer for the Bulls, and Robbie Gould for the Bears.
And the kickoff over the head of DeAnthony Thomas. The Chiefs will start from the 20. They have a 17-6 lead. There's Pernell McPhee. He's been a leader for the Bears. Together, the NFL and the American Cancer Society encourage everyone to join in the fight against breast cancer. Learn more about a crucial catch day on October 13th and find out how you can help make a crucial catch at NFL.com/pink. And this is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And the NFL, a big part of that. And we hope you will support the cause as well. Charcandrick West is the running back with Jamal Charles out with a right leg injury. Here's West carrying. Finds a hole, gets across the 25. Let's get a report from Pam Oliver along the sideline. Pam.
Well, Sam, you may have noticed the crowd here at Arrowhead went almost completely silent as they showed great concern for Jamal Charles. The Chiefs running back himself looked disheartened as he hobbled to the Chiefs locker room, assisted by team personnel. He was favoring that right leg. The Chief says he will not be coming back. Remember, Charles had a torn ACL for his left knee in 2011.
Thanks, Pam. Slipping one tackle is West, running well and hard, and forced out of bounds across the 30. It's a first down. Charcandrick West, 5'10", 205, second-year man out of Abilene Christian.
Charcandrick West running well. It's tough to replace Jamal Charles. Can't do it, but he's doing his best right now. And as Andy Reid said, very similar in their skill set. Look, he's not Jamal Charles, but he can do some of those things. He has the ability to run inside, outside. That time eluded Pernell McPhee, who made an outstanding play in the backfield.
Chiefs have rushed for over 100 yards in the game as a team. Play fake by Alex Smith. Buying some time, nobody open, and he throws it away. Time for an update. Kurt Menefee in L.A. Kurt, what's happening?
A couple of young quarterbacks going at it in Tennessee. Titans up 10-0 until Buffalo's Tyrod Taylor. Nice 22-yard touchdown run. Makes it a little bit closer. It's a field goal game as they start the fourth quarter, Sam.
Thanks, Kurt. Tyrod Taylor's been impressive even without Sammy Watkins, who's been injured a lot this season.
Tyrod Taylor opening some eyes. You know, this kid is out there making plays, not only with his legs, he can throw the football extremely well in addition.
2nd and 10 for the Chiefs. Charcandrick West, no hold. Bears do a good job up front. Led by Eddie Goldman, who's been shaken up a couple of times in this game. He's limped off the field, but he's come back for more.
Just don't call him impactful. Fangio, you got to earn that with the Fangio. He's sucking wind. He's banged up. This is the NFL. It's hot here in Kansas City. Those big boys earning their keep.
He's only 21 years old. 2nd-round draft pick out of Florida State. Niall Davis in for the first time at running back, number 34.
Pernell McPhee kind of roving around here. We'll see if he can get in there to disrupt Alex Smith.
He's fighting his way through. Smith in trouble. Gets away. A flag on the play behind the play. Smith brought down by Adrian Amos at the 38, but the flag is back in the Chiefs' backfield. Tony Corrente.
Holding, offense number 72. This penalty has been declined. The result for the play brings 4th down.
All right.
You got the penalty on Fisher, but watch McPhee here. He's the one who flushes Alex Smith, and this guy, I just love the fire that he plays with. He's the guy that flushes him. Just a big-time player is Pernell McPhee, becoming a leader of this team. You can see how much he wants to change the fortunes of the Chicago Bears.
Dustin Colquitt for the punt. Mark Mariani is backed in. High kick, beauty by Colquitt. Mariani at the 10. Is wrapped up and brought down at the 13-yard line. Good coverage on the play by Frankie Hammond Jr. The American League Division Series returns to FS1 tonight. It's Game 3. The Toronto Blue Jays at the Texas Rangers. Rangers won the first 2 games in Toronto. They could sweep the series. Don't miss the action only on FS1, and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. We've had Frank Thomas and Pete Rose in the studio with Kevin Burkhardt. Kenny Albert will call the play-by-play with Harold Reynolds and Tom Verducci. Coverage starts at 7:30 on FS1. Bears from the 14. Matt Forte gets a few on the play. D. Ford in on the stop. Give him 3 yards on the carry.
Forte so similar to Jamal Charles. Just the patience, finding the hole. Doesn't quite have the burst that Jamal Charles has, but guy that came in today leading the NFL in yards from scrimmage.
Has 61 yards rushing and 31 yards receiving. Cutler quick outside. Josh Bellamy slips a couple of guys and again dives for that first down line. He gives you some effort, does Josh Bellamy. And he's down at the 24 and he's got a first down. Alshon Jeffrey, boy, he'd like to be out there.
And they sure love to have him right about now.
Yeah. Final seconds ticking off on the clock. And we have reached the end of the third quarter. Kansas City Chiefs with a 17-6 lead on the Chicago Bears.
Well, you see Justin Houston kind of tweak his neck. Got a burner. He was being treated on the sideline in between plays. They check him out. He says, "Doc, I'm all right." Doesn't miss a play. He's back out there.
That's all.
Well, they say, Sam, you got to know the difference between an injury and an owie.
That's right.
Famous man once said that.
Start of the fourth quarter. Sam Rosen, John Lynch, Pam Oliver. Glad you're with us on the NFL on Fox. Chiefs leading the Bears 17-6. On first down, Cutler rushed, gets it to Bellamy, and he's tackled immediately. That was well played by Marcus Peters, the rookie cornerback out of the University of Washington.
And I tell you, they found themselves a player in Marcus Peters, a guy who had some character issues, so a lot of people didn't want to touch him, but he can play. Look at that, attacking the screen, going and get it. Marcus Peters has football instinct, he has toughness, has the length. They got themselves a big-time player.
2nd and 11. Forte cutting it back. Gets up to the 29-yard line. Alan Bailey with a tackle, a gain of 5 on the play. Martellus Bennett has been kept quiet by the Chiefs. They've done a great job taking him out of the game.
They really have, and really it's been no special attention, no double team, just good man-to-man coverage all over him and then finishing when they have their opportunity.
Important third down play for the Bears. Chiefs showing blitz. Here they come. And they got him. Second sack of the game. Alan Bailey, who had a half sack on the first time they got to Jay Cutler, which resulted in a fumble in the end zone.
Alan Bailey's been one of the guys, I told you, they've been struggling to get to the quarterback. He's one of the guys who has been putting consistent pressure on the opposing quarterback. Today, he's finally getting the sacks out of it. His 4th sack on the season.
Patrick O'Donnell almost blocked. Anthony Thomas has it bounce on him, lets it go, and it goes out of bounds around the 25-yard line. The Bears on the road have had trouble against the Chiefs.
Today's game is sponsored by Subway Restaurants. Get to Subway for the chicken and bacon ranch melt. Subway, eat fresh. By Microsoft Surface, the official tablet of the NFL. And by DirecTV. Don't just watch TV, DirecTV.
Back in Kansas City, The Chiefs with a 17-6 lead and the ball at their own 26-yard line. Alex Smith 14 for 24, 153 yards and a touchdown. Jamal Charles out of the game with an injury. Had run for 58 yards. And Jeremy Maclin, 7 catches today, 26 over the last 3 games. Here's Smith under pressure, got it to Charcandrick West. Up to the 30-yard line.
Tell you what, Charcandrick West showing that he's up to the task. As we said earlier, you're not going to replace Jamal Charles. He's doing a fine job both in the run game and the pass game now.
Temperatures now over 80 degrees. Normally around this time here in Kansas City around 64.
And we got punters and kickers in the fans.
They've got to stay cool now, John. Alex Smith in trouble, and down he goes. 3rd sack of the game for the Bears. Lamar Houston was there to take him down.
See Jeremy Maclin covered nicely by Tracy Porter down the field. And I'm telling you, if you're a Chicago fan, John Fox is doing it. It's hard to, when you're 1-3, it's hard to feel like you're getting better. But they've got the right coaches in place. They've got the right energy. As Jay Cutler, I thought he said it best. This thing's going to turn. You just hope that you're one of the ones lucky enough to be here when it finally does turn.
On 3rd and 6. Smith with time. Short to Kelsey. Big hit by Christian Jones on the big tight end, Travis Kelce, who goes 260.
Well, there's Christian Jones. Big time hit across the middle of the field. Bam. Christian Jones coming up and through Kelce, the incomplete pass.
So a 3 and out, a good job by the Bears defense. Kelce seems to be okay. Colquitt with another high punt. Mariani from the 26. Nice return up to the 38-yard line. Bears revamped defense depends a lot on young Christian Jones. He can hit. The most unique voice in sports is on FS1. Join Colin Cowherd as he brings you his smart sports talk along with some of the biggest names in sports and entertainment every weekday. The Herd with Colin Cowherd. Weekdays at noon Eastern. Only on FS1. Bears. Last 9 games. You see the numbers. Points per game, 5th fewest. Giving up the 2nd most points. They have struggled to get the things turned around. Complete. Martellus Bennett. First catch of the game up at the 45-yard line. Bennett has had himself a good season. He's the leading receiver on the Bears team.
Had 11 receptions last week versus the Raiders, his first. And you see, even when he catches it, the Chiefs being physical and finish it, he leaves without his helmet.
2nd and 3. Zach Miller has come in, replacing Martellus Bennett. 3 wide receivers in the game. And Jay Cutler holds on to it. Alex Smith did it. Jay Cutler does it. First down, Bears. Kurt Menefee with an update in Los Angeles. Kurt.
Well, the Falcons have been trailing Washington all day long until this weird play happened. Devontae Freeman fumbles into the end zone. Julio Jones recovers it. They missed the 2-point conversion, but they still have the lead. 12-7 midway through the 4th. Sam, John, and Pam.
Kurt's got quick feet too, you know.
Very quick feet.
Falcons and Redskins. That's one tough game going on down in Atlanta. Play fake for Cutler. Had time, throwing off his back feet, an awkward throw, and it's incomplete. Pressure from Tamba Hali for the Chiefs. Cutler's been sacked twice in the game. Martellus Bennett comes back in. Bears with a 2nd and 10. Trailing by 11 points. This is a big drive for the Bears.
Their defense has kept them in this game. Now you got to cash in as an offense.
Cutler fires and completes to Bennett. It's short of the first down to the 43-yard line. Eric Berry covering on the play.
They're doing a great job because Martellus Bennett not only is a guy who can catch the ball, but then what he does after. He's always a guy falling forward, but as soon as he catches it, Eric Berry right there to make the tackle.
Hurry up offense for the Bears. They get to the line of scrimmage quickly. Forte in the backfield with Cutler. Pressure, he steps up. Pass is batted away. Good coverage by Eric Berry again. And what a story he is. Coming back from Hodgkin's lymphoma, he has fought his way back.
And watch the coverage. You see Eric Berry outside, break on that football. He's got equal rights to the football. You're absolutely right. One of the better safeties in this league, and what a story. The way he just took cancer on and defeated it. Incredible, incredible story.
And the Bears going for it on fourth down. They had a big fourth down conversion last week on their drive to the winning field goal.
They're showing everyone up as if they're going to big pressure. No safety in the middle of the field.
Here they come. Cutler throws too high. Trying to get it to Mark Mariani on a quick release. Good pressure. Dee Ford leading the way for Kansas City. The Chiefs take over on downs as the defense stiffens, and the Chiefs maintain an 11-point lead.
Today's game is sponsored by Visa Checkout, the easier way to pay online. Sign up now.
Well, the Kansas City Chiefs, they needed to get back to the pressure up front. They do it by manufacturing it. They bring more than the Bears can block, and Jay Cutler erring on the throw, not so sure he gets the first down, even if he does catch it. Sean Smith all over Mariani on the coverage.
Chiefs start from their 43. The defense has really been good for Kansas City in this game. Delayed handoff to Niall Davis. And Davis to the 48-yard line. Gain of 4 on the play.
There you see an illustration about what Andy Reid has been talking about. Niall Davis, more of a power back. He's 230 pounds. He's not as prone to bouncing the football. He's going to stick his head down and get positive yards and carry the pile for more.
Davis, third-year man out of Arkansas. Jamal Charles out of the game with a leg injury. And again, it's Davis. This time he's wrapped up. Leroy Reynolds closes quickly. This was a guy who used to play with Jacksonville, was picked up on waivers a couple of weeks ago.
See, McPhee set the edge, and this is how you fill as a linebacker. Watch, it's like a running back hitting the hole. The linebacker takes it right to Niall Davis. This defense is well coached. Vic Fangio can coach some football. They're doing the right things. Maybe a little short on talent, but they're doing the right things. They've got to get a little better talent-wise, but they will.
3rd and 8 for the Chiefs. 3 wide receivers right. Smith rolls and looks, and the pass is off the hands of Anthony Thomas, incomplete. Sherrick McManus covering on the play. 3 and out. The Bears defense does their job, but time growing short.
DeAnthony Thomas does a tremendous job of creating the separation. Alex Smith just a tinge late on that throw. McManus a tinge late and a tinge behind DeAnthony Thomas, and McManus strips the ball. Another good job by this Bears defense.
Dustin Colquitt way up in the air. Fair catch, wave 4 by Mark Mariani at the 12-yard line. Time is growing short on Jake Cutler and the Bears. Both defenses have been good in this game.
They have, and you see the struggles that Jay Cutler's having. He doesn't have the receivers, and so what that has done is emboldened the defensive coordinator, Bob Sutton. We're coming after you because we don't think the guys outside can beat us. And It's tough. Jay Cutler doesn't have a lot of options right now. You got to find some in a hurry because their defense has done a nice job keeping them in this game. About 7 minutes, 51 seconds. You got to put a score on this drive.
Got to go deep maybe a couple of times.
I'd take a shot. I really would.
Matt Forte in the backfield. Word from the locker room. Jaquiz Rogers has an elbow injury. Little snap. Cutler in trouble. Trying to run out of trouble and is chased to the sideline. Got a couple of extra yards as he's out of bounds at around the 19-yard line. Good job by Jay Cutler, chased by Derek Johnson. He gained 7 on the play.
Again, his toughness about, you see the low snap from Grasu. Cutler doing a great job of picking up the ball, staying composed, finding the hole. And then remember, this is a guy 3.5 weeks ago tore his hamstring. He's out scrambling.
That's a rookie center, Hronis Grasu, in his first NFL game. Forte is stopped. They stood him up at the line of scrimmage. Good job by the Chiefs outside. No gain on the play. Eric Berry leading the way. Berry is cut suddenly over the last 3 or 4 plays, has made some good ones.
Absolutely. The way he filled on that toss, just playing with reckless abandon. I love watching Eric Berry play football. Watch him fly into this screen, take the legs of the blocker, Leno. Eric Berry doesn't make the tackle. He makes that play, though.
3rd and 3 for the Bears, with 3 wide receivers right. Cutler being rushed, steps away and runs for it, and he's got the first down. Took a hit on the play. Derek Johnson got a piece of him, but again, Cutler, he's showing his courage and he's showing his athleticism, trying to keep his team in it.
And they need a little more urgency up the line of scrimmage. This is where also missing these wide receivers. The no huddle's hard to operate in when you're playing with brand new receivers. They aren't used to doing this. Awful tough for Jay Cutler to communicate it with all these new players.
On first down, Langford had it knocked away. Good coverage on the play by Derek Johnson again.
So that last play took 30 seconds from the last snap, and then you get the incompletion. That hurts you. You really need to turn up the urgency. As I said, tough to do, but this is the big leagues. If guys are filling in, they got to be able.
Once again, they go no huddle. There's 2nd and 10. Bellamy, Wilson, and Mariani, the 3 wide receivers for the Bears. Cutler in trouble. Gets away. And throws and completes it for a first down. Good job by Jay Cutler. He got it to Cameron Meredith.
I can't say enough about the composure, the pocket presence of Jay Cutler. You see Justin Houston, Kyle Long does a great job of burying him, but he's got guys coming from everywhere. He keeps his composure, keeps his eyes downfield. That's just big time. In the face of chaos, staying calm.
Cameron Meredith, the former quarterback at Illinois State. The time's growing short on the Bears. The clock continuing to run. The pass for Bennett, broken up. Eric Berry again.
You have a guy the size of Martellus Bennett. That's why tight ends are having so much success, the size differential. But the Chiefs are overcoming it. Eric Berry. Look at the finish to this play. Tight coverage and then stripping the ball. Tremendous coverage by Eric Berry.
2nd and 10 for the Bears at their 42-yard line. They trail by 11. They need a score in a hurry. Cutler fires and completes to Martellus Bennett. A first down in Chiefs territory at the 47.
Kyle Long's working against one of the best pass rushers in football in Justin Houston. They're leaving him out there singled. And look at the job Kyle Long does, giving Jay Cutler the time. outstanding. I think Kyle Long, he's talented enough. He could play left tackle. He's at right tackle right now and doing more than holding his own. They shifted him from right guard, and he's making it look easy.
Cutler throws underneath. Marquise Wilson with a short pickup down to the 41-yard line. Pickup of 6 on the play. The clock continues to run. And the Bears again go no huddle. Cutler shouting out instructions to Marquise Wilson and Martellus Bennett to the right side. Cutler puts it up deep for Bennett. Too far. He had him open. He had a couple of steps. There's a flag on the play as Cutler was hit after he released the ball.
The passer, number 96, came late with a forearm and shoulder. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
The nose tackle, Jay Howard.
Howard's done a nice job getting pressure. He caused that first touchdown for the Chiefs, but it's late and it just can't do it. You got to be smart. I understand it's tough. You break through, but when the ball's gone, you gotta stay poised. It's just that hurts your team.
Only the second penalty of the game for the Chiefs.
And now, if you're the Bears, time is of the essence right now. Remember, you need 2 scores, so to kick the field goal makes some sense as well. You're going to need it again, whether you stop them or you get the onside kick.
First down, Bears at the Chiefs 26. Forte. It's a few down to the 22-yard line. Dontari Poe with the tackle for the Chiefs.
That's what's important right now, that play clock, the urgency. You got to get up. Jay Cutler physically shifting people. He went up and grabbed Jay Bellamy over on that side, and that's what he's dealing with. He's not only having to do his job, he's got new players, he's got young offensive linemen. Tough for him to move at the pace they need to be.
Kari Lee and Zach Miller, 2 tight ends, are in. Cutler looking, throwing to the corner for Lee, and it's incomplete. It was caught by Marcus Peters, but he was out of bounds. Kari Lee was picked up late in preseason.
That's where Marcus Peters is so impressive. He plays the ball incredibly well, playing against the tight end, but his length, you see, he's fine in that situation. Great concentration, albeit out of bounds, to come down with that ball.
Third down for the Bears. 3:11 to go. Bears have all 3 timeouts remaining. Cutler looks left, being rushed, puts it up for the corner for Wilson. He's got it for a touchdown. Great throw, great catch, and the Bears come up big.
As the kids would say in these days, that was a sick throw by Jay Cutler. Off his back foot, putting that ball up only where Marquise Wilson could catch it. You cannot do it any better than Jay Cutler just did it in that situation.
Second career touchdown for Marquise Wilson. He caught one last year. The Bears have to go for 2 to try and make it a 3-point game.
Here's the good thing about the extra point rule. People spent more time working on their 2-point plays.
That's right. 2 wide receivers right, Mariani and Bellamy. Wilson to the left. Forte in the backfield. Cutler throws. Mariani at the goal line. Did he get in? No. He made a great catch, but he never crossed the goal line. He reached for the pylon. Marcus Peters, a great play for the Chiefs. The Bears are challenging this call, John.
And this is a tough one because you see right there that pylon. What do they say? It's a cylinder and everything
goes around the world.
Goes around the world. We'll talk to Mike Pereira, who can articulate a lot better, but Tony Corrente going under the hood.
We're going to step out for a moment. Referee Tony Correnti will check it out, and we'll be right back. Well, is there enough to reverse this call? The call was no good on the conversion. Tony Correnti, the referee, has come out from under the hood, and he's got his decision.
After review, the ruling on the field will stand that no extra point was scored.
That just tells you not enough to overturn it. Let's check in with Mike Pereira, our rules expert. Mike, what did you think when you looked at it?
Well, I'll tell you, I think it's an extra point that it's good because he stretches the ball out there. But I think without a shot directly down the line, that New York is doing what they've always done this year and the year before, which is to stay with the call on the field. Absolutely not 100% totally indisputable. And I think as long as they stay consistent with that philosophy, I think that's good.
Thanks, Mike. Bears have 2 timeouts remaining. Will they try an onside kick here? Robbie Gould has teed it up. And the ball fell off the tee. I've seen that play.
Charlie Brown?
That's right.
Sam, the Bears have 3 timeouts left. They have all 3, and it appears as if they're going to kick deep.
They lost the timeout for the challenge.
They haven't adjusted in the stadium. Good call. Good calls, but I still think kicking deep is the thing to do. You're going to have your defense has been stopping the Chiefs here of late. Okay. No more Jamal Charles. I think you got to trust that defense.
All right, Robbie Gould steps up, and you're right. End over end kick. The Anthony Thomas started to bring it back, and he takes a knee. 3:05 remaining, and the Chiefs will start from their 20-yard line.
And wise to do. Jeremy Maclin kept them in there. Remember, you have your onside hands team out there, so they aren't. Jeremy Macklin's not going to block some of those guys coming downfield. He's saying, please stay in there.
All right, so now the Bears with 2 timeouts remaining, and for the Chiefs, they've got to get themselves a couple of first downs. A 5-point lead for the Chiefs. Their defense gave them the lead early in the game. The offense has added to it, and the Bears have tried to come back. Kendrick West, a couple of yards. And the timeout quickly called by the Bears. The Chiefs going without their star running back, Jamal Charles, who went down with a leg injury. And if you're just joining us, this was the injury.
And tough to watch. You can see the right leg of Jamal Charles just buckle. Non-contact injury. One of the finer players in the league. And I think that emboldened John Fox to say, you know what, Charles isn't there anymore. We've got a chance with our defense to stop them, use our timeouts. They did the first thing they had to do on first down, limited them to 2 yards. They got the timeout right away. Second down. Now it would be awful bold of the Chiefs right now to go for the play action because they're playing the run so heavily.
Jeremiah Ratliff went to the sideline, limping off for the Bears. Here's West again. He's hit by Sam Acho after he picks up maybe a yard and a half. We'll give him 2. We're very generous up here.
And now they're going to have essentially 2 more stops. They have you got to stop them on third down. You're going to have 1 more timeout and the 2-minute warning. That's the hope. But this is absolutely critical. On third down, you have to stop them.
You see the play clock just under 20. And the Chiefs letting it wind down. Andy Reid about to use his timeout. Takes it down to 1 second. 2:15 on the clock. As Alex Smith goes to the sideline to talk it over. And this has been a good game by 2 teams who are trying to turn their seasons around. And now you see the byplay back and forth. Timeouts being used. John Fox looking for his defense to come up big, and Andy Reid trying to find a first down.
And this is why you go get guys like Jeremy Maclin right here on this third down. I would look for them to look to Maclin Remember, no more Charles, so Macklin or Kelsey, those are their two go-to players. The Bears got to know that. You got to somehow find a way to get to Alex Smith here. Use that timeout, then get the ball back. Jay Cutler starting to gain confidence.
You're okay with a short pass game here?
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
Jay Cutler waiting on the sideline, hoping his defense can get the ball back. On 3rd and 6. Smith throws and it's broken up. Intended for Macklin, and it was Tracy Porter breaking it up. The veteran cornerback did his job.
And a poor throw by Alex Smith. Jeremy Macklin doesn't have great separation, but has a little bit. The ball thrown behind him. It allows Porter, who, by the way, with excellent coverage. Tracy Porter really coming up big 2 weeks in a row. That's big-time cornerback play. Could have been a better throw by Smith. It needed to be.
Bears still have 1 timeout remaining.
You hear the Bears fans now starting to make noise.
Dustin Colquitt. High kick. Fair catch wait for by Mariani at the 33. And that's where the Bears have it. They'll have to go 67 yards. Jay Cutler with 22 career game-winning drives in the 4th quarter. He had one last week for a game-winning field goal.
You know, one of the key things, that 3rd down stop, that allowed him to hold on to that last timeout. So they still have the 1 more timeout.
The last drive, which put 6 points on the board, was 11 plays, 88 yards. There's Pernell McPhee. He got his team fired up with a couple of big defensive plays.
Absolutely.
That's helped him mount a comeback.
And the Bears did it last week against the Oakland Raiders. A game-winning drive. We'll see if Jay Cutler can engineer another one.
And let's see what the Chiefs come up with defensively. Justin Houston lined up outside on the left. Cutler steps up, throws long. He's got Bellamy there, and it's incomplete. Marcus Peters covering, and Josh Bellamy shaking up on the play. Tyvon Branch came over to help out Marcus Peters. We've reached the 2-minute warning. Bellamy missed and then took a hard hit.
Well, this is why Marcus Peters, in my mind, has all-pro type potential. No panic to him. Turn your head, locate the football, and Tyvon Branch doing exactly what you should. You come make him pay. Jay Cutler a little bit behind on that ball. Bellamy had separation, just a little bit behind.
Great football here in Cincinnati. They're going to overtime. Bengals came back to tie Seattle. If that game's still going on when this one's over, we'll join that in progress. 2nd and 10. Cutler being rushed, throws, and completes it to Cameron Meredith. The rookie makes the grab with a beautiful leaping catch at the Chiefs' 47, a gain of 20.
I can't say enough about these 2 tackles, Kyle Long and Charles Leno. The way they're protecting 2 big-time rushers, Justin Houston and Tamba Hali. They're doing it one-on-one, and they're keeping Jay Cutler clean.
Cutler sends everyone out. Quick release incomplete off the hands of Martellus Bennett. Pressure from the outside by Tamba Hali.
And it's the recipe that's worked for Kansas City all day long, the blitz.
Yeah.
Why? Because Jay Cutler doesn't have Alshon Jeffrey. He doesn't have Eddie Royal. There's no threat outside that really scares you. Bob Sutton making calculated risks that my guys can hold up on the outside. When they've brought the pressure, they've been successful.
On 2nd and 10. Cutler 23 for 40, 230 yards, 1 touchdown. Cutler gets time. That pass is caught by Meredith. Cameron Meredith diving for the sideline, got out of bounds, and got a 1st down at the 37-yard line.
Well, impressive catch by Meredith. Not the best of throws. Tremendous hands by Meredith. Jay Cutler yesterday said this guy was a quarterback 3 years ago, just learning to play wide receiver.
Never seen a man scramble for the sideline like that. Cutler pointing things out. Sends his receivers out, steps up and throws, and it's dropped. Martellus Bennett had it and dropped it with Tyvon Branch on him.
There's been 3 or 4 balls that Martellus Bennett typically catches. Those one-on-one matchups, typically when Jay Cutler trusts him in these situations, he comes up big. I think you have to give some credit to the defensive backs. For the Chiefs, it's Tyvon Branch right there, the 3rd drop. But I don't know if you call them drops, because I think it's more a great play from the defensive backs, but still a play that you expect Martellus Bennett to make.
2nd and 10 for the Bears, who still have 1 timeout remaining. 1:10 to go. Pressure from the outside. Cutler lets it go, incomplete. Marquise Wilson looking for a flag as there was contact between him and Sean Smith. But no flag on the play.
See Sean Smith and Marquise Wilson working right there.
I think he had a case. No call on the play. 3rd and 10 for the Bears. Cutler gets time and throws for Wilson. He was well covered on the play. Flag! Marcus Peters going to get flagged on the play. Interference.
Marcus Peters upset. Going to have the pass interference. He's got to be careful. He got awful close.
Pass interference, defense number 22. Ball be spotted, foul, automatic first down.
There he is, right there, Marcus Peters. Watch at the end of this play. It's the back shoulder fade. Not a lot there. He puts his hand on his right shoulder, but then pulls it off. Not playing the ball, but that's why the back shoulder is such a hard play to defend. You throw it to that back shoulder, and the cornerback has not located the ball.
Under a minute to go. Empty backfield. Bears first down at the 13-yard line. All the receivers out. Quick toss to Bennett. Inside the 10. Lunges forward to the 7. Bears still have a timeout remaining. Clock is running.
Remember, because of the missed conversion, it would have been a 3-point game.
Yeah.
Great tackle, kept Mariani out of the end zone. Was under review. Decision stood. Now the Bears have to have a touchdown.
2nd and 4. We've got bonus coverage coming your way when this one is over. All the receivers out. He dropped the ball. Cutler gets it back and throws to Forte for a touchdown.
The composure of Jay Cutler. The low snap.
Their 2 best players come through on the biggest play of the game.
But I think their best player, their quarterback, Jay Cutler, though, staying composed with the low snap. He's done this for the last 2 weeks. Struggling at the center position. A rookie in there today. Manages to keep his eyes under duress. Throws a perfect ball to Matt Forte. That's big time. 2 game-winning drives in the last 2 weeks for Cutler. He drops the ball, keeps his eyes upfield, and throws just a perfect pass.
Going for 2. The Bears have the lead for the first time in the game. With 18 seconds remaining. Cutler looking, throwing for Forte, too low. And there's a flag on the far side of the field. We will check out the flag here.
Illegal shift on the offense. The tackle went down into a stance as the back was in motion. This penalty is declined, and the result of the play is the extra point fails.
So, the extra point no good. The Bears have an 18-17 lead with 18 seconds remaining.
So Cutler drops the snap, but his ability to stay composed, throw a perfect football to Forte, it's just really impressive playing by Jay Cutler.
He beat Hussein Abdullah, the safety, on the play. Forte with 5 catches, 38 yards, 18 rushes for 71 yards, doing his usual all-around fine effort. And again, Jay Cutler has taken so much criticism for his play. Boy, these last 2 weeks, he's been outstanding.
This entire team has shown a lot of fight the last 2 weeks. How about the defense, putting them in position? They've kept them in position throughout this entire day. They kept them close. The offense struggling to get there with all these receivers out. And now Andy Reid, they didn't use any timeouts to allow them to have some clock. Now you got 18 seconds, so they need a huge return here.
Right.
But incredible job. John Fox, he's got a way of doing this, infusing spirit into a team. This is an undermanned Bears team. They're injured. They're short of talent to start with, but they're fighting under John Fox.
And for the Chiefs, who had the lead for virtually the entire game, this is a disheartening situation.
This is a kick coverage team that's given up 2 kicks this year.
Here comes D'Anthony Thomas. Nothing there, spins away, flag on the play. I think Reynolds may get a face mask penalty.
Personal foul, grabbing the face mask, kicking team number 52. 15-yard penalty will be added to the end of the play. First down.
So that's a break for the Chiefs.
Well, he got a handful of that face mask, but precious time ticked away there as well.
Only 11 seconds remaining. Chiefs have 2 timeouts remaining. The Chiefs at the 29-yard line. They've got to get down to about the 30, 38, maybe even the 40 for a long field goal try for Cairo Santos. Alex Smith puts it up. The grab by Maclin in Bears territory at the 49-yard line.
They got the timeout right away.
6 seconds remaining. Can they risk one more play?
Now the luxury they have is that they have one more timeout, so you don't have to get out of bounds. So you can throw something quick. If not, you have Alex throw it out of bounds, and then you're going to have to go for the Hail Mary.
Cairo Santos, who kicked 2 51-yarders among the 7 that he kicked last week, right now. All right, Bears come back, John.
Cutler, you just can't throw it any better than that. The big pass interference penalty on Marcus Peters. And then the beautiful throw and catch by the Bears. Cairo Santos in warm-ups hit one from 55 going in this same direction.
6 seconds remaining. Chiefs have 1 timeout. Alex Smith looking for the sideline. Maclin steps out of bounds at the 40-yard line. At the 39. This will be a 57-yard try.
You like excitement, you're watching the right game, because this thing has been back and forth. Right foot down, left foot down.
Ooh, he was juggling the ball.
That's a catch.
Oh, he was juggling the ball. Let's see.
Here comes the replay official. He just got him.
Yeah. They got to the referee downtown, and all the replays and the call downs come from upstairs. Any review calls come from upstairs. There's Maclin juggling the ball as he stepped out of bounds.
That clearly will be reviewed and overturned.
And boy, does that change everything.
The previous play will go under review.
Clearly, to us anyway, he doesn't have possession as he goes across the sideline.
No, that's an easy call. I mean, that's Tony Corrente is going to be in and out of the booth. He's bobbling that ball. When he gets the 2 feet down, he's out of bounds.
Mike Pereira is confirmed for us from our Action Central back in LA. And Jeremy Maclin looking on, so close, but I think he knows. I think he looked up at the video board. Andy Reid's looking up at the video board. 2 seconds remaining. Cairo Santos is on the field for Kansas City. Jake Cutler has done everything he could do to bring his team back. And while we have a second waiting for Tony Corrente, here's Mike Pereira back in our studio in Los Angeles. Mike, what do you see?
The same thing that you see. The clear bobble did a great job at dragging the right toe, but both hands came off the ball, so that is considered a loss of possession. They'll reverse it. Now Tony Corrente's got to go back and reset the play to where it was, and so that's what takes this a little bit longer, because the decision itself of catch versus incomplete is pretty easy.
Thanks, Mike.
And that changes the complexion. Now all of a sudden you bring it back, you got to go for the Hail Mary now, because Cairo Santos can't kick a 70-yard field goal.
All right, Tony Corrente with the official announcement.
After reviewing the play, the receiver bobbled the ball and lost control out of bounds. It is an incomplete pass. It will be Kansas City's ball, 2nd down and 10 at the 48-yard line.
You heard the reaction. A lot of Bears fans here. So now 2 seconds remaining. It would be a 66-yard field goal try.
They're going to
try it. Cairo Santos, the 2nd-year kicker from Brazil.
This is where, if you're the Bears, you got to think hands up, because when a kicker's trying to drive it, they're going to keep it lower.
They are set for an NFL record try. And a timeout. The Bears, John Fox says, let's ice the man from Brazil. Wow, what a game this has been. Final in overtime. Atlanta defeated Washington 25-19. Atlanta Falcons 5-0.
Unbelievable under Dan Quinn. They just have this never say die attitude in Atlanta. Dan Quinn has done a remarkable job.
In Cincinnati, Seattle and Cincinnati in overtime, tied at 24. And we'll go to that game, if it's still going, at the conclusion here. 66-yard try. James Winchester, the long snapper. The holder, Dustin Colquitt. Cairo Santos. On the way, it's no good. The game is over. The Bears have come back to win it. 18-17. For John Lynch and Pam Oliver, this is Sam Rose.